Okay, so the currents, this thing has 3 currents, 1 voltage, right? This resistor, and this resistor are all connected to that voltage. I'll call this guy I1. It goes here, here, here. So it goes through that ammeter, through the 45 ohm, through this ammeter, back, right? I'll call that I1. And then I2 also goes through that ammeter and goes through this ammeter and then goes through that resistor and then back through that ammeter and back to the battery. And I'll call that I2. And then the final current goes through that ammeter and that ammeter, through this resistor, through this ammeter, and back. I'll call that I3. Okay, let's see. So let's figure out these currents. I1 is V over R, and the voltage is 117 volts, and the only resistance in the path of I1 is 45 ohms. Right, the ammeters have 0 resistance, so they don't count. Divided by 45. And this comes out even to 2.6. Does it really? Okay, 2.6 amps. Okay. And then I2 is V over R, so that's 117 divided by, and the only resistance in the path of I2 is 63. That's 1.857. Amps. Okay, let's figure out I3. I3 is equal to 113, which is the voltage, right, divided by the only resistance in the path of that is 81 ohms. So, oops, not 113, 117, sorry. 117 divided by 81. That's how like random mistakes get generated. Ooh, that's cool. That's 1.4 bar. Okay. So now we got to look at the ammeters, right? A1 and A2 have all the currents going through them, right? So A1 and ammeter 2, right, are just going to be I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to 2.6 plus 1.857 plus 1.4 bar. What is that? Let's add them all up. That guy plus this guy plus this guy. 5.90 amps. So this guy reads 5.9. This guy reads 5.90 amps. This guy will read less because it doesn't have I1 in it, right? So ammeter 3 only has I2 and I3 going through it. So I2 is 1.857 and I3 is 1.44. That equals 3.30 amps. So this guy reads 3.30 amps. All right. Okay, so then we get to the least power dissipated by a resistor. Okay, so to answer the least power for any parallel circuit I use, power is V squared over R. Since all of these things have the same voltage across them, it only matters with the resistor, right? Now let's look at this thing, right? As resistance gets bigger, the power gets smaller. So that means the biggest resistor is going to dissipate the least power, right? So the 81 ohm is going to be the one that we want, right? So power is 117 squared divided by 81, okay? Now, if on the test, if you're like, gosh, I just don't know which one's the least, Figure it out for the smallest resistor and the largest resistor. Figure out the power and any way you want, doesn't matter. And then just look and then just answer the question, okay? You don't have to be like, oh, calculate more than you need to. 117 squared divided by 81 is 169 watts exactly. All right.